Hold on, guys. I'm about to ride this bike to get my Chick-fil-A real quick. I had a coupon for like a free chicken sandwich that's about to expire today, so I figured I'd go and get that real quick. I just saw some nasty work a minute ago. Okay, I just saw domestic abuse. Okay, now what do you do at that point as a man? You hate to see it. But what do you do? So situation with her being with a guy who's like a loser, like got nothing going on in his life. He's literally riding passenger side, yelling at her to get out of her car, and it sounded like he was threatening in a way. Shout out to what his life, shout out to Nab in the building, but it sounds like he's threatening her in a way of like, I'm the man. I'm gonna like leave you. I want to go get my stuff out of your apartment. It was that type of situation. So I'm thinking to myself like, right now I'm headed to Chick-fil-A. Okay, I had a coupon for like a free chicken sandwich that I didn't want to expire. It expired today, and I'm all about saving money. So it's like, why not just go drive and get that, and then even though I'm going to get food later with Cali Girl, but yeah, this situation though was like not what I was intending on starting my like walk out my door with, because I'm about to talk about how people that scream racism always the first ones to move around where the racism is supposed to exist. But then, like, I see this dude, like I told you, I'm supposed to, but I've never like hit a woman because I felt like that's cowardly and nasty. But I see too many times to where men will manipulate a woman into thinking that you know there's something special. Like, if you're not with me, your life don't exist the same way. But like, these women don't understand that they would probably be better off without that loser than with that loser. And it's frustrating because, what do you do at that point? What do you do at that point if you have a guy who decides to, if my helmet on, this cop, I told this cop that's in front of me that I don't have my license yet, and I was asking him questions about my motorcycle license and stuff, and I want him like, oh, I remember you. You're the guy that said you're gonna get your license. Even though I doubt, because I came at him respectfully, I doubt he pulls me over for that. But yeah, like, that's a cultural situation that like that dude is looked at more likely as the man. He's the man. He's big stuff. While he's literally abusing that chick. Now we could say that she signed up for it because she's with them. We could say that, but like, it's just nasty work that I just don't understand. Like that dude got it good because that chick got a Tesla. She lives in the building, obviously. I see her all the time, and he's a lot of I don't get why they abuse the situation. I don't get why they abuse the situation. Why not, if you got it good, why not respect that woman, hold her down, show her all the love she needs while she's trying to uplift you. I was watching this Anton Daniels video the other day, and I think it's a cultural thing. I was watching Anton Daniels, live stream, and he lets people call in and they tell him the problems and things they got going on. So the dude called in, and we already know what the guy was like. Hey, I got a chick that you know she's great. She got a good job. She's a went through school. She's a nurse. She's trying to be like go back to school to be like a RN or something, or not a registered nurse, but whatever's on top of nurse. Like she's trying to be that. She put him in her house. Life, my what I got to offer because she ain't the baddest chick out here. Like she ain't the baddest chick. Like he literally was able to get this chick to lose like 50 pounds, 40 pounds for him. She works out still. She literally makes him feel good about everything that he done got going on. And this man had the audacity to call into the show he's gonna have more chicks, in front of him that, would be deemed like bad. And like, she ain't like what he would call a bad chick, whatever. And he's doubting. And then like Anton Daniels is like, dude, like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, like, you know what? Give us her contact info. Like, pass her to. Like, I got give her, the respect she deserves for doing what she's doing. We're not gonna like make her feel any kind of way about herself. Holding the man down. Trying to make him his best self. He pretty much dogged the dude to the point the dude could do nothing but like be embarrassed. That he literally called this show trying to tell a real black man, like not a punk, but a real black man, that he's about to throw away a diamond in a rough, you know, a gym. And he's like, y'all thought I was bad. Y'all think I'm bad and I'm that Cali girl. No, this dude in comparison makes me look like God. Like this dude literally is confused on what he wants to do. Like he don't know if he wants to like work or if he wants to like he don't know what he wants to do. He's just out here, you know. Now, what I mean by confused is he doesn't have a job. He's not trying to get a job. He's literally just playing video games all day, not being productive. And like this is a lot of the times the type of men that our women choose. This is the men that like our women want, and then when it goes bad, they try to blame us and say that all men are bad, all black men are bad. These are the type of men that Kelly, for example, even though I told her we're not gonna, she told me she don't want to talk about men no more. I said okay, that's cool, but these are the type of men that women like her choose. They choose men who are not qualified to be with you. Now, like I said before, I'm not gonna down this man because people call me and say I'm in the same situation. So it's like I think sometimes people get it too good. They got it so good that they don't realize that what they got isn't something that is the norm. So I'm hoping this dude gets a stern talking to by his homie to tell him like, dude, you about to throw away something that like you shouldn't even have. Like you should be thanking God to have a woman that's willing to like, hold it down for you while you're trying to get your stuff together. But yeah, I just don't understand though. You know. So now let's see what we got. We got Maverick in the building. What is life? Shout out to you. No fathers in the home to guide away from these men. Same with our men choosing no good women. Yep, absolutely, 100%. Women are picky. Picky guys should be too. No, because this guy's a no. Like he said, she's amazing in every aspect. She's loyal, respectable, feminine. She's everything you would want in a woman. Only reason why he is not respecting her, like for the point of him calling in the Andy Daniels show, that tells you about this guy. Like she's not gonna like have somebody that's gonna listen to Anton Daniels show and be like, "Yo, bro, why did your boyfriend call into a show talking about like he wants better? Like you're not good enough for him." This no good ass dude talking about you ain't good enough for him. Why he ain't got no job, not trying to get like and listen, guys, because I know what you mean. You're gonna say, "Oh, dude, you don't got no job." It's levels to it, okay? It's levels to it. So understand, when I say I don't have a job, when I say I don't have a job, okay, I just got to pull in front of this car, trying to figure out where I could park at without getting my bike towed. All right, so when I say don't have a job, guys, it's a difference from not having a job, but working on working on something that's going to be a career changing thing, and literally not having a job because you choose not to work. You're trying to get your mental health together. No, that should not be allowed because he's not even talking or considering a job. He just he's just under the assumption that she's always going to be there to have his back. You know, shout out to TC in the building. We got out the bag in the building. Rhino, he's going in, of course, like always. We got a Mondo, whatever his stupid name is. So y'all gotta understand. Let's understand something here. If I didn't have any type of um, situation coming up, Cali girl wouldn't be here. You know, I never took Cali girl for granted. The only thing I did was go in on her because I felt like I need to work. I need to work more than I was working, but I was working backwards. I was working stupid. Okay, I was working harder for less money. So that example wouldn't even be the case. Let's see. Biggest issue was not just the fight, but the fact that none of those kids tried to help the girl in this situation. I don't know. I don't know what situation you're talking about, but yeah, I'm talking about like um for Dennis. Yep. Yeah. See, there's things coming along the pipeline that you guys don't even understand. You will understand soon. Yep. Back to the point. When I saw that guy though outside just now, like doing that to his chick. It ain't no excuse. Like he had her literally. She was like, "Get out the car now! Get out the car now!" And I'm like, I want to jump in, but I mean, what could I do? Because she's probably gonna be right back with him. So she's like, "Get out the car, man! I don't got time. Like, I need my stuff. I need my stuff." So I'm like, "Bruh, like, are you serious right now?" So then, like, I didn't hear her get out the car, but then I heard her crying. Like a minute or two later, I heard crying. You know, it was a white black situation. The black girl was a bully to everyone. I heard like here's the thing, man. We're gonna talk about it in a second. I ain't gonna talk about it in this Chick-fil-A because I don't want people looking at me crazy. We're gonna talk about it in a second because I heard that it's the opposite. I heard that I went too far. Um, yep. All right, thanks. Yeah, that's what I live in this building, so I couldn't really do much because I was like getting on my bike. A question. I don't know if too late. Would it be possible? I don't know if your fryer just fries are they burnt or is it just how they are coming out right now? Yeah, possible. Sorry, but thanks. Yeah, I ain't trying to get no burnt fries. It's like tastes like I ain't gonna enjoy that meal this meal after driving this far away with some extra crispy fries. That's like the worst. To get some extra crispy waffle fries. So not only I want y'all to understand too something. Like I'm not just getting all right, thank you. I'm not just getting that. I know y'all thinking about that one job. Company napkin. I know y'all thinking about that one job that I got, which that I start on Monday. But there's napkins. Yep. Oh, thanks. Possibly a couple napkins and a barbecue sauce. Yep, one. All right, thank you. Two. All right, so yeah, the fries are good. Yeah, I have was able to use all my points to get them too. But yeah, when I saw that though, when I saw that dude, when I saw that dude um, yelling at that chick, like I wanted so bad to jump in and say like, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't because the situation was so tense to where that might have made it worse. Then on top of that, I would have put my life in danger for something that the chick might not even cared about. Like tomorrow, like she probably gonna take him back right after. Right after he goes in on her, finishes goes in on her, she's probably gonna be right back with him. And I'm not about to, jeopardize my safety to be, to save that man or save that chick when she's not even gonna take the assist and do anything about it. She's probably gonna be right back with him. All right, let me Christine, I don't know if okay, so bad you coming on live. All right. It's only gonna be a little bit though. As soon as a Cali girl comes in the house, I'm gonna go off. But let me I forgot the question. All right. I don't know what's going on there, okay? But let me get back to the house. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm just overthinking the situation, but I'm just telling you, it's always like now this is the question I'm gonna have for Mav, and I'm gonna have anybody that wants to jump on once I get back to the house. Why is it that people who scream racism and homophobiaism by a certain group of people, why they always why are they always the first people to move around it? Like why do they move by why do they always move to it? Why do they always move to this communities that's supposed to be the worst when it comes to like, you know, why are they always the worst when it comes to the behavior? I don't understand. Like if you're screaming racism, why do you move around the people who are supposed to be participating in this racism? That's something I just never understood. I never understood why we engage with these individuals. Why would you want to live by these individuals? If y'all want to put it in the comments below, y'all let me know why. Because it seems like it's always the people that are screaming, "Oh my God, oh my God, these racist, these cops." They always move around where this cops is gonna be at the most. You know, because I know when I lived in the suburbs, I wanted the cops all day. I love the cops. I love the cops posting up by that liquor store that like the hoodlums would come to. I'm sorry, that made me feel safe. So what I don't understand is why people you're screaming racism, but you always move right where it's at. Like I don't think people should get it both ways. If you scream and you say that there's all this racism happening, then you should stay clear away from it. You shouldn't have you shouldn't be given permission to move because we usually when people get money. And I asked this question yesterday. I said, why do when people get money, why do they always move to the white community, to the suburbs, pretty much around the Asians? They never ever say I'm going to move to the black community, and it takes away from the conversation in hand. You know, um, cops are basic minded people. They handle situations as they see fit. We get put in that situation. Christina, I'm look. You can let me know what you mean by that. But I don't know. I think that I don't know. It might be. I might be looking. I might be looking the wrong way at it. I might be looking at the wrong way. I'm just telling you. I just never saw why move to those communities. Officer to me, driver license, insurance, and ownership. Me, yes sir. Here you go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Christina hates Ohio because it's safer and there are more resources in white areas. Cops and local governments don't care about low income black communities. I mean, would you care about places that people don't care about them themselves? Like y'all saw that community post I put up. That community post was a neighborhood, and then 10 years later, it looks like crap. Everybody left, boarded up houses. How does it change that much? How does it change that much in 10 years? It's culture. I think it's culture. I think it's the fact that you have certain individuals that don't respect the culture of a community to where you're supposed to clean your neighbor's yard. If it's trashy, don't wait for your neighbor to do it, just do it. They'll do the same to you for you. You're supposed to like bring your neighbor a pie. You know how many times when a neighbor moves in, they bring a pie to everybody, or in the neighborhood, we bring a pie to everybody. Everybody should know. you know we got Agent Orange, BlackRock. I missed that comment. The way the country is set up is all about taxes. A free public school in the hood and free public school in the suburbs are supposed to be equal, but obviously they're not. I think it's based on taxes, Nab. I think in the suburbs, people pay more taxes overall. You have more home ownership. You just have more taxes being paid that would be put on given to the school. So yeah, I always got it when somebody. I know y'all showing concern for me when y'all say, "Oh shoot, I almost forgot to get my medicine." Thank God I came this way. My fries about to be cold because I got to stop at this CVS and grab my medication. Public schools is not educating. The best education is the choose it. Private school don't know. I think they should do away with the system. Yeah, I mean the school board, or not that the whole. I think the whole shouldn't have a school board. It should have individual schools. Make schools private. I think that's the best way of doing it because you know the Department of Education are literally which is mostly ran by Democrats in black cities. It's corrupt. It's literally corrupt. And you're not nothing with dumb people. You're not going to get nowhere with dumb people. And how do you get away from having a bunch of dumb people if you don't educate them? You don't give them the same opportunities for education. So I don't know. I don't know. I had to sue the state in order to get my helmet off. Like I didn't have to. I could have made a big fuss about it. I'm trying to like rob the place. That should be better. I got my head rocking this helmet. I'm about to pick up my medication. I don't feel like taking my helmet off. I'm just put my mic back on. The helmet off for a second when I gotta show my ID. Everyone likes money. Don't be putting and don't most don't be putting in the work. You're right about that. Blame it ain't about blaming. It ain't about blaming. It's about doing it. Let me put the link up. All right, if anybody wants to come up, best time to do it is now because I won't be on here too long. Because once Callie gets to the house, I'm getting off here. So yeah, if y'all wanna come up right now. Hold on one second. All right, we're back. I gotta put some music on, guys. I forgot about that. Crap, I don't think I can do it on here. Nope, I can't do it on here. I need to put some music on because I do better. For some reason, when you have the music in the background, it seems like the stream gets more, you get better views. I know my nose is so runny. Sorry. All right, so the link is up. If anybody wants to come up, you got the floor. You got the chance. Because y'all be waiting until I'm about to get off of live to try to jump on. Just do it before I get off. I mean, before I get ready to get off, because I'm not going to extend it. You know how I usually do my whole, I'm about to get off, and then I stay on for like another half an hour. Not, I can't do it today. So if you want to come on, jump on now. The link is right there. I don't get why. I don't get why there be so many crybabies. Why there be so many crybabies that be having so much to say, and then I give them the floor to come up and talk about why they're disagreeing with me. Always be quick to say how bad what I'm saying is. Then when I give you solutions, I talk about why it's happening. Y'all be butthurt, upset. Y'all want to hear that. Y'all just want to like continue. Just want to continue. You know, telling me how bad a person I am. I'm not necessarily. And look, Mr. Boston, they're telling you to come on. I don't know what your angle is, so I don't know if you're on the side of right or side of bad. And I want y'all to remember this too. You shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't have black folks afraid to speak their mind. And we shouldn't have black folks afraid to speak their mind. I've never understood that. I never understood why we got so many of us that are afraid to like talk about these issues like that for us. I do not speak to other people. I explore myself, and it's good to understand yourself. It's good to understand yourself and explore yourself. But when you got that dude that's about to whoop your ass and take your chain and take the money out of your pocket, now you gotta like know the truth and understand. Like, what does that even mean? But I could be off. I could be off on that. Mr. Boston, you can come on without showing your face if you want to come on. And I'm not a bully. I'm not gonna bully you. I mean, you just have a conversation. The only time they get amped up is when people are so delusional that it makes me go crazy. Like somebody will say that. Hold on, I might have them here, but yes, somebody might say that the sky is black right now, but it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, bro, like like it's daytime. What are you talking about? The sky is black. They're talking about more like of the bad happens during the day when we know statistically speaking that most of the bad happens at night. That's when I amp out. All right, so hold on, guys. I think somebody might be jumping on here. All right, let's see who we got. All right, we got Mr. Boston. But Mr. Boston, your audio is you got to turn your audio and your camera on for me to add you. I can't add you without having those on. But you don't have to show your face. You're fine. But just know if you end up being the guy that like trolls and does something crazy, then now I have to like make everybody show their face. Don't be that guy. Okay, Mr. Boston, something's going on with his audio. I mean, with his video. You don't have to show your camera, but you gotta accept for video to be shown. Just put your hand in front of the camera until you jump on, and then when you jump on, you can just turn the video off. I got a gas bike. Yep, I got a gas bike. Yeah, electric bikes are expensive. Okay, he's out. But yeah, guys, all I'm doing is just speaking the truth. And I get that whole phrase from Christina, by the way. I copied her style. She gave me the truth. I think I'm gonna have to base something around the truth. All right, we have Mr. Boston in the building. What's going on, Mr. Boston?
Hello,
Go,
sir.
go
How
ahead and
are
tell
you?
us where you disagree or agree or whatever such. I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Worked on my house today. Made it a better place. Cleaning the outside for the world.
Great, 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 great. So
Tired.
I didn't see any of the stuff you were. What was that?
I said I'm very tired.
Okay. Well, look, I don't know what you were saying in the comments because I couldn't look. I was on the bike. So where are you at with what I've been talking about? I guess.
I just shared something that I was contemplating.
Okay.
33
What is that?
angel number means that anything is possible. This powerful angel number is about known as a master number because it is double digit mirroring each other, and it's powerful vibration. The number 33 is linked themes around creative thinking and deep compassion, spiritual level connections, discipline, and bravery.
Okay.
Here are the top
Are you
searches.
what do you call those people? Like are you I wouldn't say a deep thinker, but spiritual person? Like is that what you're talking about right now?
And I also mentioned that amen in Hebrew equals 33.
What does that have to do with anything? I'm telling you that I don't read the Bible. I don't care about. I'll be honest with you. You can be spiritual and all of that. All respect to you, but I don't read the Bible. I don't really buy into all that. All I do is believe in God. Like whoever created us, pretty much. That's the God that I believe in. All this other stuff about angels, all that stuff, I don't really believe in. So I don't know if that matters. Does that matter?
Do you read any Hebrew books? Is my
I read
question.
none of that.
What's
Yeah,
that?
I don't read none of that stuff.
Okay.
It's all man-made. So you don't know what is real in regards to that. That's my thought on that.
Do you know what numerology is?
You know, nope, none of that. I'm ignorant to it. Does it matter?
in life?
Well, that's up to you. You live in modern day Neo-Rome, where all the sports are rigged by the numbers. That if you knew gematria, that you could make money off of this.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about the. Here's the thing. I don't know where you're taking this because I don't really know anything about any of that stuff. So, I mean, are we talking? Like,
What is the difference between black and white? Only but degree. What is the difference between hot and cold? Only but degree. What is the difference between smart and stupid? Only but degree.
Knowledge. I don't know what degree means. What does degree mean?
That everything that separates everything is only by degree.
I don't know. Because, I mean, that might be the case with race, but not with smarts and not with work ethic, not with.
But the difference between a lazy man and a man who works hard is only by degree of how much you're putting in, and what you put in is what you will get out.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
If you want to get smarter, you have to work, and you gain step by step towards a degree. You know what I mean?
No, I mean you got me lost because you grouped in race into degree. You can't.
I said color is just but shade.
Yeah.
And all shades are different in seeming, but not at all. That everyone is just a human being. That there is no better and there is no worse.
That's not true in America.
Why do you think like that?
Because think about it, okay? Like the culture that you have in America for blacks, you have if you murder somebody, you are a drug dealer, which is potentially killing people, bringing violence in, you're deemed cool half the time. To other groups of people who do that same thing, you're considered a disgusting, terrible human being. You're a serial killer. But on the movies, our movies, you're deemed cool and lit, but on everything else, you're just whatever.
I would argue to you that smart people do not watch TV, that they read books and do not watch.
How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Mav in the building. We got Mr. Boston. We got Mav in the building.
Okay.
Smart people.
It's nice meeting everyone here.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. No, smart people I think do watch TV.
Books, it will make your brain smarter. This is what I'm saying to you. That like if you look into music, the vibration, its repetition is brainwashing. Okay, then you add words, and that becomes indoctrination. The only separation is but degree. So if you're listening to positive music, you'll have a harmonious energy. But if you're listening to negative energy, then you'll replicate that same vibration of negative energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for you.
No, here's the thing, Mr. Boston, I understand that, but what I'm trying to explain to you is when you have a culture of people that make the popular music negative, and then you have the other group of people that the positive music is the main source of art and entertainment. Actually, I said that wrong. Like we have one side to where negativity is what sells when it comes to entertainment and arts, and then the other people, it's the positive, great, in regards to like positive, like loving form of entertainment and art that's made the most watched or the most ingested. That's what I mean. It's like you can't say one and two is different when you have black do this, white and Asian and everybody else do this. Hispanics, yes. Some Hispanics, they buy into both. But the older generation of Hispanics, let's call it like 40 and up, they know right from wrong. They don't group it as poor and poverty stricken people engage in this behavior. No, they say nobody should engage this behavior. But when it comes to me, I got people telling me that being poor is the reason why people engage in that music and violence and all this nastiness. So I don't know. I mean, I know you're thinking outside of where my I guess my my level is at, you know, intellectually, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's separation of the two. Matter of fact, why don't you answer some of the questions you've been giving? Because you are more articulate. You're more, you can communicate better than me.
Okay.
So you get where he's
Yes.
saying everything is the same for the most part. Do you believe that,
In what sense?
Mr. Boston? You want to ask him that same question and see if he can get the understanding of what you're trying to.
That hot and cold is only different by degree.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen that man who goes out in the wintertime and just in like a sheet covering him, and it's like he doesn't get cold because he doesn't shiver, and when you shiver you shake out your heat, and when you shiver you can freeze to death. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. Are
So-
you referring to this Dutch guy that's he dives in cold ice water, or is that Bear Grylls from the UK?
No, it was
Okay.
some. I think he was. I think it was Dutch. It might have been.
Yeah, I know who you're referring to. And so, what about him?
If you shiver, you shake out your heat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying things vary by degree. Like
Oh, it's
you can spend
you're
time in the
excuse
sun.
me. It's Wim Hof. It's
Wim Hof.
Kiki Bash. Yeah,
That guy.
yeah, that's who it is.
You know, I've never met someone so ignorant I could not learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
And that if you put in the effort to learn things, then your consciousness will grow.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing holding you back but yourself in life.
I see.
That's the beauty of it all. The word teacher
Mm-hmm.
in gematria equals 33.
And what does that mean when you like gematria?
It's just words into number. The Greeks practice this. The Egyptians practice this. The Masons practice this. The Rosicrucians practice this.
Mm-hmm. Wow, fascinating.
The Catholics practice this. The Illuminati practices this, etc.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So these numbers, mean they offer some sense of significance, correct?
Well,
Or
there's a meaning to it. There's
Okay.
a reason why these words connect with other words.
Hmm.
For example, police equals 33, pirate
Police.
equals 33, federal equals 33, magic
Mhm.
equals 33, pyramid equals 33,
Mhm.
freedom equals 33, false flag equals 33, order equals 33, society equals 33.
Wow, interesting. So what's the significance of 33?
Hold on, real quick, Mr. Boston. Because I got Kylie girl in the building. I think she'll give me a half an hour if I can include her in the conversation. She's a brainiac. So let's see if she understands what you're saying.
There you go.
So this is what
Yeah.
we're gonna do. I got a solid half an hour right now, and I'm about to step through. So Mr. Boston, this is where we're at right now. Okay. Look, like when it comes to learning, do you have people that take different forms of learning and run with it? So a lot of people like to read books. Before you had Netflix and before you had, YouTube, before you had all these other means to learn new information, you had to read books. Now you have Audible, you have all kinds of ways of learning. Okay, you have podcasts with people that are just smarter than you that you learn. Like I didn't know the difference.
I'm going to just move here for a moment. Just give me a moment.
But I didn't know the difference from a liberal and a I'm sorry, not liberal, but liability and asset. I learned that from talking to people. So what I need to understand is, you know, the things that I say and the things that I do is based off of what I see. So when you come at me with all these like biblical verses or whatever those things are, and what they are, I got my girlfriend, she's smarter than me, which is why I love, you know, being with her, because she can dissect it and tell me what you're saying. Let's hit the topic of why you think that me talking about the race, the fact that, you know, you have blacks doing things more than other communities, and I'm just the speaker of these things because I want it to change. How is that a bad thing that shouldn't be grouped when you have statistics and numbers that shows that you have literally 500% more murder in every single, for the most part, major category? You have at least double when it comes to, or at 10 to 20% when it comes to any crime, comparing black to the rest of the country. So how would me not grouping the difference save my life when I got to decide what community to move in? And then the next one would be the topic is, why do people that live in these communities, why do they always move to the white community? You never heard anybody say, I'm going to move to the black community. When they get money, they move straight to the whites or the Asians or whatever, you know, pretty much where the whites are at. So how isn't that a real thing if we see it right in front of us?
So the thing the black community suffers from is a thirst for knowledge that they can't get.
Why can't they get it?
Because most people are obsessed with what's easy in life, like drugs, rock and roll, money, etc.
Okay.
But those are just distractions designed to capture the weaker hearts.
Okay.
And there are plenty of reasons why religion matters. It gives you a foundation when life feels hopeless. There's another 33 for you. No mercy. There's another 33. There's good and there's bad. I'm just trying to explain to you. It doesn't have to be bad. It can be good if you focus upon the good.
So is that you saying that we focus on drugs, you know, music and etc.? Is that a black thing? Like, are you now doing what people consider I'm doing, which is generalizing?
Let me give you an example. Forget about what I said about 33. All right, the word New York equals 666. The word Empire State equals 666. Okay, the word fake alien deception equals 666. The word computer equals 666. The word internet equals 666. Is this making any sense to you?
No, because I don't understand. You understand, this is what look, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but just tell me without telling me. Are you a liberal minded person?
No, absolutely not.
So why, like you're literally distracting from the point. Like you literally just said that blacks, or not black, I guess not blacks, but they engage in drugs and all this other stuff, instead of the fact that, you know, I think it's just blacks don't want to know the truth because it's right here in front of us. You can go on, you know, social media. We got two more people jumped on here. We're gonna let y'all come in.
That if you know what to look for,
Then Dana and Derek, we're gonna let them jump in.
Hello, guys.
for free. You don't have to pay any money. You all the books are out there, right in front of you. You just have to know what to look for to educate yourself, and that's how it works.
Paris, come over here and make sense of this. Because I'm sorry, Mr. Boston. I don't understand what you're.
You need to kick Mr. Boston. He's just rambling. I don't get the 33. I really wish he would explain it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think Mr. Boston, instead of just saying you don't have a solution or answer, You're just talking about like you keep
Okay,
referring like
A
numbers.
is 1 and Z is 26. B is 2, and there are only 26 letters in our alphabet. And if you know anything about Hebrew, English is a lot like Hebrew, just like ancient Greek is Hebrew in reverse. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
No. Do anybody understand this?
We need another.
Honestly, I don't. I mean, I studied Latin, frankly, and I obviously speak Spanish and Russian. And to me, it sounds like some kind of Greek mythology. Or sorry.
I said, Sam Privyet, mój brat.
Okay. Ocean Pratna. I kak vam zavut?
I thought you was Polish.
Okay. I ja Ocean ustal a ti.
Melodies.
Okay. Хорошо. И как делаешь?
We're leaving the rest of the community out of our
Okay,
show.
yeah, you're right.
That's fair to them.
Okay. Continue then.
Is that Derek that was speaking?
No, that wasn't me. So what exactly is the topic about?
I think you wanted to talk about racism, but now we're trying to.
No. The topic is more so why do blacks, the ones that scream racism and homophobiaism and all this stuff, why are they the first ones to move to where it's supposed to be at, which is where I guess the white folks who are better than them live at, like the suburbs usually, like the white places. Why are they always quick to move those places? The rappers, to all of these people, they always move where the whites are at.
I got an answer for you.
Word.
I got the answer for
That's
you.
the word. Go ahead.
Okay, so just a quick backstory. I live in Detroit, Michigan. So when I grew up, I always used to fantasize about, like, when I would get rich, that I would fix up my community and things of that nature. And I always wondered, like, why people like Oprah and all the black millionaires that we have wouldn't, come back and fix up their community where they came from. And instead, like you said, would move to white communities. So I guess the simple answer to that is that not every black person is the same. So you have different ideologies, I guess, and I guess you have a small percentage of blacks who come back and live in their communities and fix it up. But for the most part, a lot of us, choose to take the easy route out and move to a white community. Of course, there's a high crime rate in Detroit and in a lot of different black communities.
But like you want to believe that your
Hold on,
community.
Mr. Boston, hold on 1 second. Let me finish his point because he was on one.
Yep, Mr. Boston, it's just his last thing. So there's actually an interview that Jay-Z actually did where they asked him this question. Why doesn't he go back to Mossy Projects where he came from and, help fix up his community or live there? You know what I'm saying? Buy, probably a house and fix it up, whatever the case may be. His answer was that he feels personally that those communities were designed to be that way. They were designed to be ghettos. Overall, I guess, like, simply put, he just feels that basically those communities aren't meant to stay in. That he feels that as soon as he got rich, that it was a must that he got away from that community, that he moved out of that hood. And, You know, he does videos and stuff still to this day, but for the most part, he doesn't step foot in Mossy Projects anymore. So, you know, I guess just different ideologies. I, for one, feel different. You have a rapper by the name of Trader Truth. He stays in Houston, Texas, where he came from, and also T-Pain. He fixed up his old properties that he stayed in, and when he was a kid, and fixed those up. He probably doesn't stay there permanently, but he does have some properties from his the place that he came from. Yep, but it's just different ideologies in the Black community. A lot of us feel like I just don't want to deal with the issues. Too much violence, you know, it's dirty there. I would rather just move to a rich white community, and I may deal with some racism here and there, but for the most part, at least I won't have to worry about, you know, bad water like what we have in Flint, or, you know, deal with any of the crimes and people breaking into your homes and stuff.
Can I just interject here for a moment?
Mm-hmm.
You talk about bad water. The entire East Coast is covered in forever chemicals. Okay, like PFOs, that kind of shit, lead, you know, all kinds of shit. All right, but I want to tell you, there's really little difference between a white community and a Black community. We have crooked cops, raping kids, fucking all kinds of shit, man. And you like, the media sugarcoats it and projects to you something that isn't true. It's never true anywhere. And if you visit a different country, right, and you come back here and you realize that America is actually a fourth world country and not a first world country, after seeing the shit over there. That it's a ghetto. This entire country is a fucking ghetto. But if you went to DC, it's like being in a different country entirely. Just look at the marble buildings and fucking statues and pillars and shit. It's just a facade, really.
Okay, let me let Maverick go, because Maverick, you've been all over the world. From what you said. Is that true that we're like a fourth world country compared to other places around the world?
I wouldn't say so much based on aesthetics, honestly, but certainly in terms of a sense of security. I lived in Estonia, in Russia, Argentina, and Chile. And like living even in Russia, honestly, it's more like people are much more, on average, respectful, I think, of their common person, like around them. They don't like intrude on people's space. Like, they don't really, you know, in schools, obviously, like I work in schools here, they don't drive this concept of respect per se, but like people by like 13, 14, or 15 kind of understand this. And I think that's where the major problems, like in the US, it's not so much like the aesthetics. Like in some cities, honestly, aesthetics look just fine. Honestly, in the US, I think it's a personal sense of like responsibility and how people just like treat each other and whatnot. Like I worked in retail like a year ago or so, and I kind of saw like the full like circle, so to speak, and it was just like I didn't have problems, honestly, with the customers. It was actually my coworkers mostly who I had issues with. They were just like, coming from Eastern Europe, like Estonia, people tend to stick to their own business. They don't meddle in people's affairs. Whereas I've noticed, like, it's so bad, like in the US, like working in schools here, people just constantly meddle in people's affairs, mostly negative, rather than just be like, okay, I'm going to focus on doing XYZ, like trying accomplish my own mission in life, rather than worrying about what's happening here or what's happening there, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I mean, if I went to Russia, my ex-girlfriend, I was engaged to her. She was making, at 19, she was making the equivalent of around $400 a month. This was in 2019. And you would never know it, honestly, like meeting her, and she was just a very like dignified and respectful type of person for being 19. But I'm not going to say that's the norm, but it's really interesting when you kind of explore other countries. I've met so many guys that have kind of the same perspective once they come back here. Now, that's not to say that guys like stateside should still have standards for themselves. They should still try carry themselves to a higher standard than the average. Because I do also see guys that like act like, oh, I shouldn't meet XYZ, but I deserve like number 9 or 10 gal. No, I mean, you should still have a high standard for yourself. And that's where I'm 31 obviously now, and I'll be honest with you, it wasn't until just this year when I was like 24, 25, was making around 80,000 a year, and then it went downhill big time. Honestly, I started a business, became multimillionaire. I that evaporated, but at this point in time, I mean, I'm getting back to that level, but it's a very different mindset that I have. And like I said to you, Dennis, you have a phenomenal like girlfriend. I mean, she is very understanding. That is a very uncommon gem nowadays, and that's incredible that you met her.
It seemed like just to add on
Yeah.
to what you guys were saying.
Hey,
that,
Derek, not to cut you off. Let me rebuttal. Not rebuttal, but let me just.
Okay.
Matt, we're gonna have to do a 1-on-1 with your story, because I didn't know all that. I didn't know you were once a millionaire, lost it too. So
yeah, there's a lot to my story. I so much in my 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I say when I'll text you and when you're free, let's do that. And if you don't mind telling that story, because people think it's just a me thing. They don't understand how, when you don't really know any better, how fast you can lose all that money. But if Derek, if you want to go ahead and respond to that, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I was just saying that it seems like just to talk on what you guys were saying about America being like a fourth world country. I always looked at America as like the Disney World of this planet. It's almost like you could come here and pretty much do anything you want. In certain countries, they don't even allow women to drive. Here, I mean, you can go to a restaurant and, a woman could basically spit in your face and they'll sort of take their side. I've seen it happen before. Also other things like I hear in Dubai, as beautiful as a place as it is, they don't have any strip clubs. You get what I'm saying? Like,
you can't beep at people, so I imagine accidents happen too. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. This is.
We have freedom in this country, and that's what makes it beautiful.
Yeah, that's
and you know what? The biggest mistake is the government trying to police speech on the internet. It takes away our rights, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I just want to say this one last thing too, because I just watched a video where they were interviewing like all these rich people, and they were asking them like, does money buy happiness? And of course, these were all just American people who they were asking this to, and their responses were sort of like, it doesn't, and once you get $1 million, once you actually get it, it isn't as big of a thing as you think it is. Well, let me just say this, I see a lot of people who come from these third world countries over here to America, and it's crazy how they take advantage of the opportunities that we basically look past. It's almost like they know the power of a dollar, whereas us over here in America are pretty spoiled. I just feel like if you were to ask that question
I
to
agree.
someone from these poor countries who, barely have, food to eat, there would be a major difference in, you would see that not only do they come over here for the freedoms that we have, but I think a lot of American people here are kind of jealous.
You could have all the money in the world, but if you're not healthy, you're not going to enjoy that money. Do you know what I mean? So therefore, health is wealth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's the thing y'all got to remember, okay? First off, America is definitely not a fourth world country. I get it. You have bad water and all those different things, but you have filtration systems. You have something to fix every single problem. The problem we face is victim. Actually, I see it in the chat right now. Victim mindset. People who are running in the victim Olympics. Okay, because when it comes down to it, Math, he just spoke on that. Like, he's a successful guy. I mean, I know that was like a humble brag, but look behind you. Got a pool, probably got a hot tub behind you. I saw that little foyer area you had in the house. You're doing good, and you having trouble getting a woman in America should not happen. So that's the problem. The problem is that you have a majority of people making poor choices. Like me, like 3 years ago, I wouldn't have been with Cali girl. I would have said no because she.
I have a wife and 2 kids.
Okay. No, I'm not saying you personally. I'm just saying as a whole in America, majority of us choose bad because I would have not chose Cali girl because she was going to earn more than me at that point in time. And she wants her independence. And there's a bunch of things that she just won't conform to that, most women are required to conform to. So I wouldn't rock with her. And that would have been a bad thing because I would be right now dating a scallywag that's only with me because I'm providing her with the basic necessities to live and survive. And it would have been a point to where she would have probably cheated on me with a guy that's better in her book. So the thing is, it goes the same way with women. Women choose, loser dudes who literally are never going to be better, all for the point of having that guy that their friends are going to be like, oh, shoot, he's lit. I love that guy. I like that guy. Instead of that guy actually being able to potentially be a husband. And I think that's causing us to create more, I'm sorry to say, pointless kids, because these are kids that are going to end up like accomplishing nothing. And that's the reason why America is starting to get to the point that, 50 years ago, we never thought that we would be to a point that we got an open border to where it ain't about Mexico. It's about people in the Middle East, people from all over that hate us, literally celebrate when something bad happens in America. They're celebrating. Those people are coming over here free for all. We got people that are literally crying because they don't want to work 40 hours because of mental health reasons. They rather work, 25, 30 hours and have their mom subsidize the rest of their life. You have every single aspect of that made America great, made people come here because one of the best places to become a millionaire. All of that is being lost because we keep coming up with new ways of giving people a cop out for failing.
Dennis, what happened to Rome? Why did it fall apart? Because no people signed up for the Roman military. They had migrants come and run their military. And the people who attacked Rome were the migrant military. Do you get it?
Here's the thing.
What destroyed Rome was the lack of people caring about where they live and shirking their own responsibilities to defend their own nation.
So are you saying the migrants is a bad or a good thing?
It doesn't have to be a bad thing, but I'm saying it is only through law comes order to man. And if there's no order, then there's no law. And if there's no law, then there is no order. They're 2 pillars of the same horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that complicated.
I mean, this is the question I got for you.
Best when he says, it doesn't matter if your country is the best place in the world or the worst place in the world. You should always be patriotic towards where you live.
Yeah, you should, Mr. Boss. I think this is where, you know, I'm trying to understand. Once again, it's like people who aren't where they want to be in life. They're like the victim party right now in America. Like if you are not successful in the way that you want to be successful, then you're going to complain and say America is racist and some white man held you down, or you're going to say freaking the government put drugs on your corner, which is why, you know, all your family's selling drugs. You're going to have some type of excuse. Why can't we just understand that, you know, we as people, you got to just get what you can get by whatever means possible without killing, looting, stealing, robbing, being ignorant to people. That's all we have to do, because you do notice that, like, when I used to complain and whine and talk about how I'm owed something after inheriting, you know, $1 million worth of assets, it was because I was a Democrat and a liberal, not knowingly. Voted for President Obama the first time because he was black. And then when I woke up and realized what life was about in America, that politics still do matter, I realized that I'm not a victim. Nobody owes me nothing, because 2 generations ago, you know, yes, they might have been like, you know, messed around because of slavery and civil rights and Jim Crow and all that stuff. But me being who I am now, I can't blame any of that stuff.
You do realize that we had more white slaves than black slaves in this country, right? We had Irish slaves, we had British slaves, we had all kinds of shit going on. You know, what happens in London or in England, and it's still a thing. There's such a thing as debtor's prison, where you go to prison for being in debt.
Mr. Boston, was their slavery as harsh as ours was as black people?
Absolutely.
You know that there were black slaves that was they would feed like the babies to alligators and stuff like that, like brutals. I mean, the beatings were like brutal.
Yeah, they do the same shit to white slaves back in the day.
Cali Girl is in a good mood, Mr. Boston.
Evil. The Turkish enslaved Americans for 400 years during their caliphate, which was a Muslim empire, by the way.
Hold on. So if there's more white slaves, why aren't the whites complaining, asking for reparations, and, you know?
Because when he's talking about those slaves, a lot of those were like prisoners of war, they were captured countries, they were indentured servitude, things like that. When it comes to the United States of America, it's a little bit different, because we stole people from the land and took them to a whole other place for them, their culture, religion, everything. We didn't allow them to practice everything that they wanted.
I get it. Some of the blacks were stolen, I guess, but me, I was here already. I'm American. I think, what would you call me, a native black American? Because I was already here. I'm not Elon Musk. Elon Musk is African American.
Yeah.
No, I was already here. I was born here.
You have no idea how you got here.
All I know is this: I don't get why. I knew that there were white slaves, but I didn't know there were that many. Matt, if you're the historian, is he speaking fact?
Yes.
So there was more white slaves. So why aren't the whites? I guess overall, y'all should be complaining because y'all were slaves. And what, the blacks we enslaved y'all, right?
Reparations.
Well,
it would be like stealing money from our own pockets. Is that really a smart idea? It solves nothing, and it bankrupts the state. So we want clean water, we want clean air, we want clean food. So if we want these things, you need the municipality to have the money to do such things. But when you snatch that money away from what will be able to provide that as is desired, it deprives the state from having the money to foot the bill for it.
No, you know what? I know how we can resolve this. Yeah, I know how we can resolve this. The whites, y'all can give us back, you know, what y'all feel we deserve. So, Mr. Boston, I'm assuming you're, you know, a successful family man. How much can you, you know, give to me and Derek Carter right here? Give us our reparations. I mean, I'm just gonna ask all the white people for reparations, since you think that, you know, because I'm assuming you think we're entitled to it because we came directly from enslavement, or we came from Africa and we were enslaved. So don't you think you should give us at least like maybe $1,000? Give us what you can afford, but at least 10%.
Ridiculous.
Even math. I think math. You being a white man, I think you need to give your part to the blacks.
Can I interject for just a moment here?
Yeah, go.
And I've said this so many times, like my dad's grandparents were from Scandinavia, Norway, and Sweden, which is like at the very top of Europe. Most of those people didn't end up in the U.S. until at least the early 1900s. It's the same thing that you saw with a lot of the Polish, Ukrainians. They came to the Midwest and Heartland early 1900s to mid 1900s. So they came all of my ancestors came to the U.S. after slavery even happened in the U.S. And that's something I point out because
think about the Scottish that moved into the South, that standard, that Southern Confederate flag is a Templar battle flag. Okay.
Well, yeah, and I mean Scandinavians. Like, this is the thing about it. My ancestors, they wouldn't have supported slavery. Like, if you went back to even the 1800s, they wouldn't have this notion and concept. They wouldn't even have supported. And so, and I think in your case, Mr. Boston, you said you're of Greek ancestry. So,
yeah,
most
so we're
likely,
enslaved to
you're
Turkish
also in this similar situation where your grandparents or whoever didn't come till, like, say, the mid 1900s to the U.S. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
My Greek side have been here 800 years before Columbus.
800. Wow. That is something.
Did your family participate in slavery, Mr.
No.
Boston? How do you know?
Because my family that still lives in Greece led the revolution against the Turkish people that were enslaving Greek people.
No, I'm talking about America.
Just sit on their fucking hands.
Did y'all participate in slavery in America?
No. Massachusetts doesn't have a history of slavery. I don't know if you know that or not.
True, Cali girl. Let's fact check. Is that true? Massachusetts didn't have slavery. She said didn't they land in Massachusetts? What about you, Matt? Did your your family moved out, but did you participate
in the military here? They're always welcome here.
No, I've
Matt, you didn't benefit from your white skin in America?
No, I've had genealogy tests done, and I've traced all my ancestors back to say 150 to 200 years on both my mom and my dad's side. Like I said, none of them were in the U.S. until after the Civil War happened. And so, yeah, initially, most of them, like my dad's family, like his dad started out as a farmer in upper northern U.S., very close to Canada. He didn't I've said before, he was just focused on his trade. His mom's side his dad's side was the same way. My mom's side, it was basically the same. They weren't.
Maverick, do you know about the Rosetta Stone?
Absolutely.
That's in Iowa.
Yeah. Rosetta Stone.
Okay. So you know about Phoenicians, right?
Yep.
You know what a maypole is?
I sure do.
Go look at the Rosetta Stone.
Mm-hmm.
The hoop is for the maypole. Don't you get it?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Well, my question, Derek Carter. Don't you think me and you are both rightfully allowed to go outside with the jar and tell the white folks and say, hey, do you think that we should get reparations? And then if they say yes, then we should put a tip jar out like, hey, you can give us what you got right now. Don't you think we should do that?
Hell no.
Why not? We deserve it. We're enslaved, right?
Well, let me say this. I just don't believe in begging,
You're not begging. You're just getting what's rightfully yours.
I mean, if I wanted to do that, I would just take it. If I felt like something was rightfully mine and they're not giving it to me willingly, then, I got to bang out. But we
Or
don't
if
want
he's a
that, do we? We
politician.
don't want a race
Don't move to
war,
my
do we?
community.
Yeah.
Is that what we asking for? A race war?
No, I don't want one. I'm just saying that's what the blacks are saying. I'm just confused. I mean, Maverick, your yard is pretty big back there. I mean, can I have like a 10.10 or what it would be, 10 foot by 10 foot plot that I can put
All I
like a
can
little
say to you there,
house in
Derek,
the back there? Like a
Well, I
little,
mean, like
house
you know,
estate.
like West Florida is
is
already.
you
I
would
mean,
make
I
the
don't know. What,
Illuminati very happy with a race.
Can I take one of your bedrooms, or Mr. Boston? Can I take your bedroom? Because that's what blacks want. I mean, that's what we want.
It's nothing wrong with asking for it. You know, I feel like that's a female's type of that's feminine in my eyes, though. Like to ask. That's why I feel like Black Lives Matter and those types of organizations, they seem sort of like feminine, like they may be female dominant. You get what I'm saying? Because I just feel like as a man, if I go up to a white man with a swastika on his chest and I ask him, hey, can you treat me fair? And he says, I ain't giving you nothing, nigga. I'm not going to keep on begging and hope that this guy accepts me. If I really feel that, fucked up by it, then we will have to get into other.
What if I told you Dennis has more money than I do? Would you ask him for money?
Why would I do
black.
that?
I'm black.
We're on the subject of reparations for blacks.
What? No, he's saying if I have money, should he give or should he ask me for some money? No, you got to remember, I don't
help your brother out.
Now I will say this. It's crazy how we asked the
black,
white.
So I don't have to pay nothing. Because
it's crazy how we asked the white man for reparations, but I believe they asked like the Africans who sold us into slavery. They asked them for reparations also, and the Africans are some very prideful people, and these were actually people who they were able to track down and trace them back to the actual people who sold us, and they said, hell no.
I don't think you're allowed. You're making a good point there, but I don't think you're allowed to say that stuff. That's the reason why I say what I say, because here's the problem. Like I've been saying the fact that we shouldn't get reparations because ultimately we're not being hurt right now. I think if they give us anything, they give us some of that land that they got. There's a lot of land that's not being used. Let all the blacks that want reparations go move into that land. You build houses for those people. It's like the Indian folks. Put a casino there, but guess what's going to happen? It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be violent, just like the Indian reservations are, because you're giving people no purpose. So my thing to you is, Derek, I asked you, does all lives matter?
Not really.
What do you mean all lives don't matter? What do you mean?
Animal lives don't matter.
No lives matter.
I'm talking about
certain ones do. Like if the president gets killed,
white and black lives matter and police lives matter.
It's the best killing machine there has ever been in our planet's history.
How about this? They're supposed to matter. They're supposed.
We'd like them to matter.
I think all lives
we would like to. Yeah, that's a good
Hispanic ones, black, white, everybody, all lives matter. I never stood for that. Black lives matter.
But the government is really a fictional entity, and unless you build a community, then you can call it something. But it's just a concept of mind. It doesn't really exist. Like the government's not a boogeyman who's out there to fucking get you. It's just here's what we got going on. We got water going through the tap. We got food in grocery stores. Oh, you want to buy something? Look over there. They're trying to sell you something. You know what I mean?
Well, look, real quick, guys. So here's the situation. I wasn't gonna be alive this long. If y'all want to continue, I can leave this on. And y'all can go. If H-Way or anybody else want to jump on, they can. I'll leave this as an open floor to where I'll have my phone next to me to where if anybody wants to jump on. But I got to spend this quality time with Cali Girl. I should have came on earlier, but I didn't think anybody wanted to come on because nobody texted that they want to come on other than Mav. Mav, I apologize.
No, it's fine. I'll just
medication right here, so I was dead.
I'm probably
sick.
click off because like it was more like yourself that I was like going to
Okay.
bring up some points with, but I totally understand.
Well, how about this, guys? I'm gonna give y'all your last point. Keep it within 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna get off. But tomorrow, I'll be on tomorrow for a few hours. But Monday morning, because I start my job Monday at 5 o'clock, 5 to 9. So keep in mind.
Felicidades.
Oh yeah, all
Okay.
day.
Espero que tu futuro sea muy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I didn't hear that. Thanks. I appreciate that, Matt.
Okay.
Oh, I appreciate that. I thought you were. I didn't know what that even meant. I apologize.
In Spanish.
I mean, it's a good job. So for now, and I'm actually I got an interview with New York Life. That's something different. Okay, this is something different. I ain't even gonna tell you nothing about it. I didn't even mean to let that slip. But here's the situation. I'll be on Monday, and I'm gonna do more of these lives. But if y'all want to come on, text me, reach out through email, and I'll do a live with you so you have the floor and we can do it longer. It's just when I be coming on by myself, I be on for like 2 hours. Then people start to jump on when it's popping. And at that point, it's kind of like, pointless for me because it's better to do 1 to 2 hour lives than do 4 and 5 hour lives. But go ahead. If y'all want to make your last point, and then if y'all want to come back on, I'll put the thumbnail up for tomorrow. Y'all know exactly what time. For 2 hours, I'll be on live. But who wants to go first? Just go for it.
Dennis, I wanted to ask you before I leave.
Yep.
Why do you take the approach of like when you had asked me, do Black Lives Matter? I mostly hear that all lives matter thing going on. Well, I initially heard it from like Trump supporters, and it would always be to combat the Black Lives Matter movement. But I was wondering, like, specifically, why do you take that approach of all lives matter? Because I just let me just say this last thing. Of course, Black lives should matter. I think we all agree with that. So I just found it funny that when the Black Lives Matter movement came in, a lot of racist white people in my eyes were totally against it. Well, not only just the movement, but just the saying of Black Lives Matter. Well, all lives should matter. I mean, it came off to me as just a little bit, racist on that part and foolish on, a lot of other people's part. So anyways, what is your reason for that?
Okay, so I'll tell you this right now. I think it's time to go. So I'm just playing. So the reason why I do it is simple. You have, Black Lives Matter was started by 2 women who were of LGBT frame who put that together to literally, ultimately to make money off of the death of Black men. So it was a hypocritical movement because the reason why I did the whole all lives to combat Black Lives Matter, because first off, all lives in America should matter because we're all American. Secondly, the lives that they were pushing that movement for were criminals who were literally like resisting arrest, putting the life of the public and the police officers in jeopardy. Now you had like 24 unarmed Black men shot, but like maybe only 3 or 4 of them were actually unarmed and like not fighting a cop or not doing nothing, but just, the cop was stupid and he went to jail like he should have. But the other men, I'm sorry, if you're fighting a cop back, you're just going to get shot. I know me personally, if I fought a cop, I'm more likely to get shot if I'm overpowering them. I mean, we're overpowering these cops. You need 3 or 4 cops to hold us down. So I didn't like the fact that whenever a Black man got shot by a cop or a white man, period, heard a Black man, they're running to the scene, coming, all day. But then when you got an innocent kid who like gets shot every day in Chicago for the most part by a freaking loser thug, guess what happens? They're quiet. It's chirping. So that was me fighting. I actually got a Twitter page I made. It was called Black Lives Matter or My Black Lives Matter Too. Okay. Because my Black life don't matter. Because if I get shot by one of these low life thugs, and I have a more than likely chance of getting shot by somebody of my own race than a cop by far. Nobody's gonna chirp or say anything after a couple of days. My life is over. But if that thug because most of these people are thugs doing the wrong thing. These aren't innocent people like went to school or working a job, making hard-earned money, coming home to their family. These are all thugs. It is what it is. And they made the movement around them. And it is what it is, because George Floyd, I'm sorry, should not have a statue. Okay?
I agree.
I mean, the dude that was in a wheelchair, that's in a wheelchair now, that the city had to pay like $2 or $3 million, he don't deserve that money because he literally pistol whipped this chick, and then he ran to the car when the cops were coming that she called, and freaking, he got in the car and he got shot up by the cops because he reached for a knife, and that happened in front of his kids. Those kids, not just the trauma of seeing somebody get shot, but those kids probably got ear issues right now, hearing issues, because those gunshots was right there in front of them, and they're young. So that he was pushed by Black Lives Matter. You got the one situation where the guy who was like mentally not there, he was at the apartment complex, and this neighbor who always showed him love, he used to harass her. She never called the cops because she felt like she didn't want to get in trouble. And she told the family, who happened to be white, who adopted the kid, black guy. But sure enough, randomly, he shot up her apartment, and she had to duck with her kids in the apartment. And she had the audacity to call the cops on that kid. And then the cops came and did a standoff for freaking hours. And then the mom and dad showed up, and they're begging him to put the gun down, put the gun down, just get arrested, blah, blah, blah. But no, he shot at the cops. He got shot up. And guess who's there? Black Lives Matter is there yelling at not only the victim of the situation, who's literally scared to go back into her house because she's traumatized. She almost got shot with her kids. But they were yelling at freaking the police department for doing their job. These are the instances that are happening that, just like in Akron, you had a guy who was on a high-speed chase with cops shooting at them. And you got video footage, from the cameras that they have on the poles, that he shot at the cops. And you had Black Lives Matter protesting because they shot the man like 25, 40 times. I'm sorry, he shouldn't have been shot that many times, but you can't tell somebody how to react when you're on a high-speed chase shooting at a cop car, and you get out the car and you reach in your waistband, you're going to get what you got. And he was already suicidal because he lost his daughter for some reason. I forgot what happened, but he lost his daughter and his girlfriend or wife. So I'm just saying, that's the reason why I push the All Lives Matter, because we're not caring about the all of lives. My life, freaking, Russell Wilson's life. If he got shot by a thug, nobody's going to care about his life. Maybe a little bit more because he's famous, but they're not going to care after a couple of days. But guess what? If Lil Ray, who freaking been selling dope his whole life, and he decides to freaking, the audacity of a cop shooting back at him because he's shooting at him, he gets shot. Now we got Black Lives Matter on the scene. And if you don't believe me, look up all the cases that Black Lives Matter was involved in. Like 90% of the cases, actually 95% of the cases, were all lifelong thugs shooting or fighting a cop back. There was not one case that they set up a protest for that wasn't a law-abiding citizen minding their business, just freaking walking down the street and got shot by a cop. And you can look it up. Like, it's right there on the website.
I find this conversation very enlightening. Up until today, I thought the BLM movement was it stand for buy lots of mansions.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know anything about it.
That's what happens when you let women, no offense to Cali girl over there, but when you let women run any organization, 9 times out of 10, if they're not conservative, the conservative women are savages, and that's who you got to have. I'd rather have ass kickers running companies. If you don't have that, then you're going to have freaking emotional women choosing to freaking let criminals off the hook and be easy on crime. Nobody should be protesting. There should be no George Floyd statues up. Literally, that's literally liberal ideology right there. You put this man who pistol whipped a woman who was pregnant. She got to look at that statue every day. It's right in her city. She has to move, or she has to look at this man who pistol whipped her and she almost lost her kid because he chose to take all the fentanyl instead of going to jail. He took all the drugs. He was literally still breathing. He was talking with the guy. I mean, I'm not going to get into that because that's going to fire me up. But I hope that answers your question, Derek Carter. Like the racists, I call them out. Like there's real racists. Like North Carolina, the racist people that actually use the hard ER, those people are disgusting. Conservatives call those people out. They think that those people are the worst people. But that's the difference. Those are low-life, disgusting, terrible people. I can say it on my platform right here. But if I call out the niggas in my community that are the worst, disgusting, they're like the racist white people and Asian people, they're on that level. If I call out the niggas, I'm called Uncle Tom Coon and this and that because that's all I talk about. It's criminals. I don't talk about regular black men other than sympathizers of criminals. I don't talk about regular black folks because we're
I've
living
been to North Carolina once, and the funny part is, I got chased by a bunch of rednecks once, and I got saved by some homeless people that lived under a bridge, and that was pretty cool because I was very drunk. And,
Jesus Christ.
That's the truth. And North Carolina, I'm telling y'all, I never saw in my life people riding down the street with Confederate flags on their truck. And it was during the Trump rally. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And you know what was crazy? This is when people were saying if you're black and you go to any protest or march for Trump, you will get hung, you will get beat up. Guess what I did? I literally went right in that crowd and they treated me with the most respect ever. Even the most racist of people that I thought they looked like racists. Like it's to the point that because of me being brainwashed, this biker club offered, they're like, hey, come ride with us. All white people and like one Native American woman. And I'm like I'm asking Callie girl, I'm like, hold on. Do you think they really want me? Like they seem kind of racist. She's like, no, you should go. Who cares? And I'm like, I don't know, because these guys come off like they would be redneck racist men, but they're not. And that's my mindset forever. But I go to North Carolina and I go to that march. This is the second time I went to a Trump march. I went the first time, and the first time was like mind blowing. But the second time, I'm like agreeing with everything they're talking about. And they weren't treating me like I was a black man. They treated me like an American, like a man. You know, like I was able to sit there. They're offering me food. They offered me beer. And I'm just chilling. Like they weren't treating me like because I didn't come off like a nigga. I came off like an American. Like I'm all about law and order. I'm all about respect for our police. I'm all about freaking, working hard, doing what you got to do. Even though people don't think I work hard with whatever I do. I'm all about that. And that's all they're about. They just want peace. They just want to go home to their kids, wake up, go to work, do what they got to do, and not have people complaining and trying to take something that they earned. Like the slave owners are dying. The last generation of slave owners are gone.
by the way,
What was that?
I said that was 17 years ago that happened to me, by the way.
This was actually 5 years ago, or 4 years ago. I was in North Carolina and I saw the Confederate. They were all rallying down the street. And I parked my car at the AutoZone. I went into it and I'm talking to the people and I'm like, they ain't that bad. Like they're cool. And this is the second time. And yeah, they literally have Confederate flags and all that. And I think you're a racist if you got a Confederate flag because they were fighting to, keep slavery going. But look, I went too deep. Go ahead. Derek, that was your question. Mr. Boston and Maverick, if y'all got anything I want to add, and I got to go because me and Callie girl got to binge watch the show and then we got to go.
Wisdom is all the wealth of the world, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. No, sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say, Dennis, look at what is happening in Asia and that part of the world, because trust me, in 10 or so years, the Asians will control a lot of the wealth, honestly, in the U.S. I'm not saying this is what I want. It's just speaking on facts. And it's just something to realize because, I think many people, you see the same thing in the white communities. They don't realize, the Asians, when you look at the tech sector, financial sector, large companies, they are gaining a huge percentage of the the market share. And so just realize that you're gonna have to play ball with them, I think, down the road. And also that there's one other thing I was gonna say. Shoot, I don't recall.
Okay.
But it because I think many people kind of overlook those communities, and they don't. Trust me, those people. I'm not saying there's some exceptions. They don't care about political correctness. They don't care about reparations or any of this stuff. They are simply, they just do what they have to do to reach their destination, and that's something that it could really take some people by surprise. When you look, this is something that's never been brought up on your channel, Dennis. I myself, I've basically been competing against Asian people in the job sectors that I've had attempted to work in until I went into education, and I could outbeat those people and what they were doing, but I think personally they were being favored, just my personal opinion, but it's just what it is, and I just accepted it. My brother makes big money from the federal government through it. I'm not going to go into how he does it, but he works in the education sector, and there's a lot of money to be had, as I've brought up to you, and I know some of your subscribers have brought up if you look at where the money goes into the government. So I just accepted it and just moved on. It's like I don't need to compete. Just like yourself, I'm working towards entrepreneurship and having my own operation like I had 4 years ago, and just moving forward. So it's really awesome, honestly, like getting to speak to you. Obviously, you were on my channel like a few weeks ago, and you're like, you have an awesome channel.
I appreciate that, Mav. I got a question, Mav, real quick.
Yes.
Are you like more superior? Are you like, what's the word? What I'm slow. I'm not gonna use Jesse Peterson and call myself black and slow, but I'm kind of are you pretty much like super smart? Like, are you like on the like level of, like, you know, they say like geniuses? Because I used to work with a guy who kind of have like, he's kind of like shy and kind of like awkward in a way, like socially, but he's super genius. Is that you?
Not like in some ways, not like in a quantitative
humble
sense.
brag, I guess.
In some ways, I can hold my own.
What's your IQ?
I don't even know. I've never had it tested. I mean, on the ACT, I got a 24. On the ASVAB, I got
Is that good, Cali girl? I only got a perfect score. Yeah, you're a low key genius.
On the ASVAB, I took the Air Force ASVAB like 6 months ago, and I got a 74. So it's pretty high. But I don't like. There's so much more to being like successful than just pure book smart. Like, learning a language is one of the best things, I think. It's not just on like telling people you know it, but just internally it feels cool to know a language. And there's other things also, but yeah, you have to kind of, it's kind of like pro athletes. Like I was watching this documentary with Antonio Brown. He was on DJ Vlad's channel. Have you ever seen any of Antonio Brown's interviews?
No, I watched a couple, but then they got kind of like nasty work.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't like. There's so much victimhood, and at least in his work from a couple years ago. But in the sense of as a football player and how he maneuvered, and he wasn't like a big guy; he was a smaller guy, but he put everything together and became a superstar in the NFL. He just had, it was the work ethic and just putting all these pieces together. And I think it's the same with other sectors, whether it be like science or engineering or business or whatever it might be, teaching. You have to leverage the components that you have and just piece it together and produce, basically.
Okay. No, I got you. What I'll say is this: I'm gonna text you. And look, man, by the way, Mr. Boston Derek, I'm not saying you guys are stupid and he's like genius level. This is like going past, like, he writes in my comment section. He's literally like a encyclopedia. Like, he literally knows a lot of about every little thing. Like, Cali girl does that too. Like, I'll say something like, you know, like for some reason these carrots, you know, I eat a carrot, I feel way better. And she'll say yes, because carrots got the protein level of this and like got the atom of this. I sound ignorant right now, but you get the point. He knows every little. He's like and I had a guy, the guy I used to work for. He actually was I forgot what you call it. What do you call when you can't look nobody in the eye and you are like a mean, like you're an asshole to like you go to McDonald's and like they'll mess up and not give you ketchup and you're like, what the fuck? I need my ketchup. Like, what the, like, you flip out. But he's a genius, like with numbers. He can do like 1,000,000 times like 846,028 in his head. Like I forget what you
autist.
What you say?
Like an autist.
Not an art. Not that.
Like,
like an autistic person.
No, it's not, because I work with people who have autism, and most of them are like, being in a school setting. That's not how most of them are. It's just they're like savants. I mean, they're very just
savants. Are you a savant, Maverick?
Yeah.
You are?
No, I like I said, it's anything else. You just work on your strengths and whatnot. But yeah.
I think Maverick is just white. I think
you have the strength to be honest. I respect that, bro.
Derek, is the whites just smarter than us, Derek?
No.
Hell no.
Oh, that was Boston who said that. No, I'm talking to Derek. It's Derek. Is the white smarter than us? Am I
Hell
just
no.
Okay, thank you. You're not a
Hey, but check this out. Check this out though. They a lot of whites are showing things that we aren't shown.
Yep.
Basically, like our social media, World Star Hip Hop, Instagram. These are the things that we're privy to. Where as if on their side, they're watching what's going on with Trump. All the things that's going on in society.
Exactly.
Is being pushed towards their community. So in that way, they do get a lot of insight on things that a lot of times we're not privy to, or we are privy to. We just choose not to.
So isn't that a good thing that I'm doing that right now? Like I'm literally I'm trying to share knowledge and game to people that don't know any better. Like that's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, literally, because a lot of blacks don't know. Super chat. Sid, appreciate that super chat. Great discussion.
Congratulations, Dennis.
I appreciate that. $10 super chat. But no, I'm just giving people the game and knowledge. They didn't know, like, for example, the Breonna Taylor story. They don't know what Trump is actually trying to do. I showed that video. They don't realize that if we don't get Trump in, like we're gonna be. You realize I can't go into that. I'll say that for the next live. Look, guys, I'm gonna reach out to you, Matt. The other two of you, I'm gonna put my number in the chat. If you guys want to reach out, if you ever want to come on and you want to do your own little thing, so you have the floor, then just reach out to me and text me and tell me, hey, I'm gonna be free at this day on this day. Let's do a live together, and then I'll jump on and do a live, and we can pre-record.
And also, Dennis, not to interject, I'll be moving soon. Honestly, I'm going to be moving to Argentina where my brother is. So, I could definitely find some people too that could get onto your channel. Like I don't know what it is. If I go to other countries, I can find some really like prominent people of those countries. And I could definitely reference them to you. If you know anything about Argentina, it's not like, say, Mexico or Puerto Rico. It's actually very like Europeanized and stuff. So just something to know. I'll be leaving probably in a few weeks. So
well, stay on that new journey. You're going to be successful because you got what it takes to win anywhere with your credentials. But look, I'm going to say this. Shout out to Matt, Derek, Mr. Boston. I'm going to try to come on tomorrow. Now, next week, I start my job. So next week, I'm going to start doing a morning show, and I'm going to do a night show. Night show is going to be right after my job, and then the morning show is going to be morning before. Me and Callie are working on this 1-bedroom. Hopefully, we'll have it within like the next 3 months. That way, I'll be able to do my thing while she's here because she'll be in the bedroom. But with that said, I got to spend quality time with my Cali girl. We're about to watch some Sons of Anarchy. I'm still trying to figure out which knife to buy. Check myself. So I appreciate her for letting me stay on for an extra hour. And I appreciate you guys for making the live even better. I would love to make this. Yeah. If this would have lasted 6 hours, it would have been Jesse Lee Peterson voice. Amazing. But I can't go longer. So thank you, Sid, for that super chat. Appreciate you. And I'll Mav, I'll reach out to you. I'll respond to that text, and then we can set a time you're available. Add anything, Cali girl, before I end it? Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I was just looking at it, like, what are you watching?
I know.
And then you're like, this is the guy that I quote.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh god.
He's where I got the blacks from.
I was like,
he's where I got the Great White Hope. Amazing. All those things. Like Black Lives Matter.
Like, he's got like 5 million followers.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter, created by 2 fat black lesbians. Lesbians.
Stop.
That guy's crazy, man.
Yeah, if y'all want some entertainment, if you want some entertainment, go to Jesse Peterson channel. But look, I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button on your way out if you don't mind. HWA, if you want to come on, this is how a conversation is fun and enlightening. They came with like open-mindedness. I know HWA, you do that too, but I want you to understand that it's good to have some white folks on the panel, only because now they can call me out when I say that white people get this, they get that, they get this and that and this and that. But like I
Do you
said,
know
I
what,
gotta,
Dennis? Can I give you one recommendation that also
Yeah.
might help your channel a lot? Like if you created a Spanish version of this channel, you could reach a huge audience. Like there's Russian speaking channels that cover topics like here stateside, most people here wouldn't know about that have a couple million subscribers. Like you could do the same thing, and you would. I mean, you would expand so quickly.
okay, so
But
how do you
like,
do?
Maverick, we're working on subtitles.
Oh, I can get subtitles done already with that. I got the software on this computer now.
Yep.
It's what you call it, not just CapCut, but I can't think of the name of it right now.
It'll be a challenge on lives, but you can do it.
Is it just the caption or change my words? Because I can also get my
you could
words.
do caption. I mean, the best is if you could speak the language, but that's obviously way easier said than done.
Now, do you repost it on the same channel, or do you do a new channel and you just post it?
Initially on the same channel, and then eventually on both channels, and then eventually just the new channel. I would say is the best way to go about that.
Okay, I'll
It's
reach
just
out.
in like kind of a thought, whether or not like it may or may not work well. But I think with this area, I think it would work quite well.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. Well, once again, I appreciate you and everybody, in the chat. We'll be back. It sucks that I should have started this live earlier. I just didn't think anybody. Actually, Matt, you did text me and say you sent me a video link, but at the time I was dead. So we'll be on it now.
Yeah.
So look, to Keaton, I can't have you come on right now because I can't take a chance of adding you and you like flashed or something randomly and that'd just ruin the whole live. And next time come before I get ready to go. But once again, appreciate y'all. Hit the like button on the way out.
Yep.
I'm
Thank
out.
you. Yep.
Appreciate y'all.